It's nerdy pep talk time. But before we begin, I want to do a shout out to Strength in Numbers, one of my favorite Substacks. They put together a great post on political violence, and I used a lot of the analysis and the subject matter that they had conglomerated into that post in my take today. So go follow G. Elliott Morris on Substack, aka Strength in Numbers. If you haven't seen The Dark Knight, go watch it. But I want to focus on the scene that is their version of the prisoner's dilemma. Gotham City is being evacuated and two boats leave the harbor. One is full of Gotham's most wanted, the other full of innocent civilians. The boats break down in the middle of the harbor, and then the Joker, the villain in this movie, comes on over the intercom. He explains that 1, their boats are full of explosives, and 2, each boat has the detonator for the other boat. The rules of the game are as follows. Anytime between that moment and midnight, they can push the detonator to blow up the other boat. However, if anyone tries to leave the boat via life raft or something, or if neither boat blows up the other, both boats will explode by midnight. Also, communication has been cut off between both boats. Everyone predictably begins to panic and tries to justify an act of violence against the other boat in order to save their own lives. When violence occurs in our society, there's been some sort of justification for it in the individual or group's mind. The social contract generally precludes it. We also go to great lengths to distinguish things like self-defense or war from violence. What the Joker is trying to prove is, as he puts it, when the chips are down, the people will eat each other. As usual, we will turn to the data to see if the Joker's hypothesis is correct. What we do know is that individuals of a partisan group will try to justify political violence, but they will do so to the degree that they believe the other party also believes and espouses political violence. If the other party is willing to do this, we need to be willing to do it as well. However, the data also shows that a partisan is more likely to overestimate the opposing party's support of partisan violence, anywhere from 239 to 489%. Thus, not only is the belief that the ends justify the violent means dependent on perception, but the perception is woefully inaccurate. Here's the good news, though. In that exact same experiment, when they corrected the variable group with the actual rate of support for partisan violence in the opposing party, which was much, much lower than perception, the individual's own support for partisan violence dropped dramatically, on average about 37%. Humans that communicate and coordinate their actual values to each other, regardless of political party, are less likely to be deceived and or manipulated. In part 2, we'll go over what happens in the rest of The Dark Knight, what the rest of the data reveals, and what our takeaway should be as humans engaging in politics with each other. So stay tuned. Oh, and if you want to go ahead and read the whole thing right now, go to my Substack, Kate for the People with no underscore.